UV filters. Pointless? Let's find out. Greetings all and a very good morning to you, and for quite a long break there, I'm back out finally, and it's not a brilliant morning as you can see by the clouds and stuff like this. Today's about filters, so it's going to be long exposure stuff and this sort of thing, you know. Why not start off by going to my favourite location?
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back.
So yeah, filters. There's got a few different ones out there. Polarising filters and UV filters, ND filters. There's loads of different ones. But I want to talk about a totally pointless, or might not be a totally pointless filter, which is the UV filter. And you see, UV filters were mainly there for the use when you're doing film photography, because it protects the film from the UV rays. But why do people still use them in digital photography? And I'm going to be honest with you, I've got one of mine on my lens, but I'm going to say it's not for the reason that you think it is. It's not for the UV part of it. It's for something else. I know I said I like other photographers being around, but not when they're in my location. Houston, we have a problem. The sea's not rough, so doing this ND filter bit's going to be rather tricky. There's no movement. Right, time to get the thinking cap out. So hopefully I'm not going to step on the photographer's toes here, because I'm about to go to some guys at the top, take some pictures of the rocks and stuff, but I'm about to actually go into the rocks of where they're actually aiming, so I hope I ain't going to stand on their toes or anything here, but let's just see, let's just see. Hopefully I don't. No, change my mind on that one. Oh, it's so difficult this morning. It's so difficult. And the thing is, the reason is because there's not much detail in the clouds, not much movement in the water. Never mind, I'll find some. I found a little something. Nothing. Let me just move this about a bit because it's Mike's pointing away from me. There we go. Right. This is nothing really spectacular, but what I've done on this one, we just. Yeah, right. So yeah, nothing spectacular on this one. However, I'm actually going to. I sort of like it because I like the composition of it, and I'll explain what I like. It's just a shame there weren't a little bit more something there. But what we've done is, you got the downs with the old Harry Park right in that far background, and that's on the upper left third line. And you've got these small rocks that are protruding from the right hand side, which is a line leading towards the cliff edge, which is on the lower left third, and then obviously the horizon is literally on that top, almost on that top line. It's nothing brilliant, but it's a bit of a, it's an okay sort of a thing. It'd have been nice if there'd been like a bit of a mist or a bit of a ray of light or something else there, that it's just missing that little bit. I don't think it'd work very well doing like a long exposure because there's just no movement in the water. So might give it a bash and see what it turns out like. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So settings wise, we are there we go. Yeah, settings wise we are f11, ISO 100, fifth of a second. So UV filters, pointless, absolutely pointless on digital cameras. Don't even bother. But I'll tell you what I use the UV filter for. And some people think, it's for protection, in case you drop your camera and it's going to protect your lens and all sort of business. Yeah. Okay, I get that. But a lot of time when you're out and you're holding your camera and stuff like this, and you're going to have a strap, and you're going to, or a lens hood or something like this, which is also going to protect your lens anyway. But the only reason I actually use a UV filter on mine is it is to protect the lens, but not for drops or falls or anything like this. It's because of the environment that I'm in, and because when you're actually by the sea, there's a lot of salt in the air, and salt is abrasive, and it's not very good when you clean your lens and you're cleaning salt off the lens. It will scratch it. So for me, that is the only reason I use a UV filter. Nothing else, literally for nothing else. So yeah, do I think it's pointless? Well, it is for what it was designed for, because you don't need it on a digital camera. They're more for film, and it's to protect the film. But you don't need them on modern equipment. And the thing is, the more glass you add between the shot that you're taking and your lens, the more glass that you're going to add, the more imperfections you're going to get. Things like blur, or not, it's not going to be as sharp, and this sort of thing. So you really want to keep it to an absolute minimum. So only use what filters that you actually are going to need. If you're not going to need them, take them off. So if I'm doing stuff at home, the UV filter comes off. If I'm actually coming down here on the seafront, it will go on, purely for that reason, just to protect it from the salt. Yeah, it's a tricky one really, because there are going to be a lot of people out there who are going to disagree with me, and it's one of those, it's a love-hate thing, you know. Some people agree and some people are going to totally disagree. Yeah, so my advice is actually going to be if you feel that you're going to want to use one just to protect your lens, go ahead and do it, because there's no harm. But if you're finding that your images are not quite as sharp as you want them to be, the chances are it's going to be because of that filter on there. Alright, second one. And I think these guys will just appear, just over there. That's where I wanted a bloody bee. Never mind. We've got to share the area. Anyway, this one is just simplicity at its best. And it is literally down on the sat there in the sea. There's just this one boulder, one rock. It's got a little bit of the grass verge just at the bottom, and so that rock is in that lower left third. There's a slight bit of detail coming through in that sky now that the sun's actually up in them clouds, and yeah, this is just really simple. I know there's something about this, I just really like it. So we are, where are we? F11, ISO 100, and a 13th of a second. I've changed this one just slightly, and I'm going to put the filter on because there is the ND filter on, because there is a bit of movement on that in there, and you start to get some nice bit of light coming actually from the sky, just a little bit coming through them clouds. So if I time this right, when we start getting a bit more rough sea that's crashing on these rocks, which is actually moved now to the lower left on the third. The horizon's on that top. Bit of a grass verge to the left, which I'm not too keen on, but a bit of faffing around there to try and get rid of it. So I'm going to leave it in. It might add a bit of colour. Don't know. We'll see in post. I'm now off home for my banky sandwich and a cup of tea, and yeah, I'm pleased again today, and it's good to be back out. So thanks for joining me on this one, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, stay safe. I will see you soon.